Hello everyone, welcome to Sneha Videos. This video is for ninth class, chapter 1, Real Numbers. In this video, we are going to learn exercise 1, which is expressing a rational number as a terminating decimal or as a non-terminating, recurring or repeating decimal. So, children, please follow the link given in the description where I gave what is a rational number and what are the types of decimal forms. In that link, you have what are the decimal forms, how many types, it is terminating, non-terminating, and what comes under rational numbers and what comes under irrational numbers. So please follow the link given in the description box. So here is your first question. Write any three rational numbers. So rational numbers are indicated with the letter Q. Okay. So we know that natural, whole, integers, these three also comes under rational numbers, right? And P by Q form numbers are also rational numbers where Q is not equal to 0. So if we ask to write any three rational numbers, you can write a natural number, you can write one whole number. What are the numbers? What is the number which is present in whole number but not in natural number? It is 0. So you can represent 0 as also here a rational number, or you can write a negative number, right? You can write a P by Q form number also. So your solution will be like this. A P by, here I gave a P by Q number, here also a P by Q form number, here I gave a natural number, it is also a whole number, it is also an integer and also a rational number. You can give 0, you can give -5, anything, because this minus negative numbers also comes under rational numbers. So here you can give negative numbers, here you can give a whole number also. Clear? So let us go to the next question. Explain rational number in your own words. So as we already know, rational numbers are the P by Q form numbers where Q is not equal to 0. Means whatever is there in the denominator, it should not be 0. Clear? So a number which is expressed in P by Q form where Q is not equal to 0 is called a rational number. If you want, you can give the examples. I gave here a rational number, here also a P by Q form number with negative sign. Clear? So let us go to the next question. So here is your next question. Give an example each to the following statements. So the first question is a number which is rational but not an integer. So here he mentioned that it should not be an integer. It should not be an integer means it should not be a whole number, natural number and an integer. You are not supposed to write the negative numbers like this, whole number, 0, 1, 2, natural numbers, right? Apart from these numbers, you should write a rational number, right? What are the rational numbers which are not there in integers are P by Q form numbers which are in decimal form. Okay, so the P by Q form number which is not an integer is 7 by 6. So I can tell like this, 6 by 2. Suppose I gave 6 by 2. Is it a rational number? Can I give this as an example here? A number which is a rational but not an integer? No, because when you divide this, 2 ones, 2 threes, you will get 3 as a quotient. Means it is a whole number, it is a natural number, it is an integer. You should have the decimal expansion for a rational number which is not an integer. The number which should not be an integer but it is only a rational number means you should have decimal form number which is terminating or non-terminating, recurring. But you should not take such numbers as rational when he asked not an integer. Understood? So your next question is a whole number which is not a natural number. We know natural numbers starts from 1, right? 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, so what is the number which is not there in natural numbers but there in whole numbers is, it is 0. So a whole number which is not a natural number is 0. So I can write 0 as my answer. Okay. So your next question is an integer which is not a whole number. Integers means it is a group of natural numbers, whole numbers, or you can write integer means negative numbers and whole numbers. Integer is a combination of negative numbers as well as whole numbers. It is a combination of negative numbers and whole numbers. But what is our question? In an integer which is not a whole number means it should not be a positive number. You should write negative numbers. So I can give my answer as -4 because a whole number means you are not supposed to write numbers from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. You are not supposed to write the positive numbers and you are not supposed to write this 0 also. So apart from this whole number, the integers are negative numbers. Okay. So your next question is a number which is a natural number. Okay, he asked it is a natural number and it is a whole number. It is an integer. It is also a rational number. Means you can give any number, right? Suppose I gave 3. It is a natural number. It is a whole number. It is an integer. It is a rational number also, right? So you can give like this also, 0 also, but you cannot give 0. Children, you should remember one thing. You should not give 0 because here he mentioned it should be a natural number. But 0 is not a natural number. So you cannot write 0 as your answer. Okay. So you can write answer from whole number or whole number. Because whatever numbers are there in whole number, they are there in natural numbers except 0. They are also present in integer. They are also present in rational number. So I can give my answer as 7. Apart from 0, you can give any number to satisfy this condition. Clear? So here comes your next question. A number which is an integer but not a natural number. It is an integer but not a natural number. It should not be there in natural numbers. It should not be there in natural numbers, but it should be an integer. Means you can write a positive number, you can write 0, you can write 2. But here he asked not a natural number. Not a natural number means 2 is a natural number. So you cannot write here, right? So I can write 0, -2, -5. Means here I can write 0 or negative numbers. Not a natural number means simple. Natural numbers are positive numbers. So you should not write positive numbers. Only natural number he asked. So I can write 0 and I can write negative numbers. Okay. So here is your answer. I gave a negative number. Here you can mention 0 also because he asked only not a natural number. Means it may be a whole number which is 0. Or you can write negative numbers also. Clear? So let us go to the next slide. Here is your next question. Find 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2. So he asked 1 and 2. You should write the rational numbers which are in between this 1 and 2. But if you see as the natural numbers, 1 and 2 are the consecutive numbers. They are the next numbers. 2 is a successor of 1 and 1 is a predecessor of 2, right? So, but he asked write 5 rational numbers. Means here when you see for a natural numbers, whole numbers and integers, there are no numbers in between this 1 and 2. But when you go for rational numbers, means if you go for p by q form numbers, you are having some rational numbers in between this 1 and 2. So here you should have the numbers in p by q form. Okay, simple problem. So here you'll have two methods. Okay, one method is you should make the denominators same. Denominator should be same. Okay, remember this, very important. You should make the denominator same for this 1 and 2. And one more method is mean method. Mean is nothing but average. You should do average method or mean method. Okay, one is you should make the denominator same and one more is mean method. Whatever this mean method is there, this is very important. Okay, so let us go to the first method. Method 1. Here I am making denominators. To make the denominator same, I will multiply and divide 10. Right? Because if I write 1 into 10 by 10. So I cannot multiply only 10. because if I multiply only 10 without division, I'll get 10 as my answer. But here 10 is not my question. It is 1. So if you divide and multiply with 10, if they both cancel, again you have 1 only. So when you do this method, into and division method, it should be of same number. Then only when you cancel this, you'll get the same question number. Right? So here I'll make the denominator same by multiplying, dividing by 10. You can take any number. Suppose I can take here 1 by 6, 2 by 6. I can take this denominator same like this also, and I can write in between rational numbers between them, right? So here is your next step, making the denominator same method. This is called this method is making the denominator same. Here I am using for this 10 into 10 and divided by 10 method. The given rational numbers are 1 and 2. So I'll multiply into 10 by 10 for 1 as well as for 2. So I'll get 10 by 10 and 20 by 10. So now I can write the rational numbers in between 1 and 2. How? 10 by 10, 20 by 10. Here the denominators, if you see properly, here the denominators are same. When the denominators are same, the numerators are different. Right? So here there are so many numerators in between 10 and 20. They are 11, 12, 13, 14. Right? So for all these the denominators are 10 only. Okay. So I can write the in between rational numbers as 11 by 10, 12 by 10, 13 by 10, 14, 15, any number of things. Here he mentioned only 5. So I wrote 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. So simple method. You should make the denominator same. Okay. For that I am using into 10 and by 10 method. Okay. So by this you'll get the denominator same here and the numerators are different. So I can write in between numerators with the same denominators between 1 and 2. Clear? So let us go to the next method, which is mean method. So here is your next method, mean method. So mean is nothing but average. Here I am taking sum of two numbers. So I should take divided by 2. If you are taking sum of 3 numbers, you should take divided by 3. Okay. Sum of 4 means 4. It is nothing but sum of observations by number of observations. Okay. So here he asked, in our question we should find out 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2. Okay. So in the first step I'll take 1 plus 2 by 2 because he mentioned that number. So I'll take only 1 plus 2 by 2. As there are 2 numbers in the numerator, I'll divide by 2. Okay. In the next step you should take this answer. See how I have done. The given rational numbers are 1 and 2. Okay. So here I'll take a as 1. Here I mentioned the formula with variables a plus b by 2. So a is your 1 and b is your 2. So when a equal to 1, b equal to 2, substitute in this method. In this formula 1 plus 2 by 2, it gives you 3 by 2. So now I can say 3 by 2 is one rational number in between 1 and 2. Okay. So our next rational number will be simple. Here he gave 1 as a first rational number. Here in between 1 and 2 he asked. So every time in every step you take 1 as a. In every step you take a as 1 only. Okay. Your b changes. Okay. Your b will be the answer of the previous step. Okay. Here I have a as 1, b as 2. Okay. I have done this. Step 1 finished. Okay. Now next my a will be 1 only, but my b will be this answer 3 by 2. Okay. So now you should find out the average of this a and b. Substitute in place of a 1 and in place of b 3 by 2. Take the LCM because if there is plus or minus in between two rational numbers, you should take compulsory an LCM. Apart from plus minus, if you have into and division, you should not do LCM because into and division will not separate the terms. Okay. So if you take the LCM, you will get 5 by 2 and this 2 is multiplied with this 2. So you will get 5 by 4. Now in the next step same, a will be 1 only, but your b will be this 5 by 4. Okay. So in the next step a is 1 and b equal to 5 by 4. Same procedure, you should take the LCM here, and 9 by whatever this denominator, it will be multiplied with this one, so 9 by 8. Same procedure continues because he asked 5 rational numbers, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, we need to find out one more. Same here, a equal to 1, b will be your answer, previous answer, so you will get 17 by 16. Now next step will be a will be 1 and b will be 17 by 16. So when you solve this, you'll get 33 by 32. So here is your first rational number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he asked only 3, so if he asked only 3, you can do till here only. If he asked 4, you can do till here. 5 means you should do till here. 6 means you should find out one more thing by taking a as 1 and b as 33 by 32. Clear? So he asked only 5, so I finished 5 rational numbers. So I can write like this, 1 is less than 3 by 2 because this is a big number. Compared to this 1, this is a big number. Like that it repeats. So all these numbers are less than 2 because he asked the 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2, means these 5 rational numbers will be greater than 1 and they are less than 2. Okay. So your first method is making the denominator same and your second method is mean method. In the denominator method, making the denominator same method, you should multiply by 10 and divide by 10. It is very easy comparing to by taking another denominator values. Okay. Now next one is mean method. Take a as whatever value he gave first one. Okay. Same a will not change. Okay, because we are finding rational numbers between 1 and 2. 1 and 2 means they should be greater than 1. So I will take every time a equal to 1 only. Okay, and your b changes. For the first step, your question number will be there, and from the second step, your previous answer of the next step will be there. Okay, so all these numbers are greater than 1 and they are less than 2. Understood? So let us go to the next question. Here is your next question. Represent 8 by 5 and minus 8 by 5 on a number line. Before doing this problem, I'll take one example and I'll explain this. Suppose your question is given 3 by 7 instead of 8 by 5. Okay. Here I am taking different denominator 7. Simple children, don't confuse when a rational number is given and he asked to represent on a number line. Simple procedure, just follow this method. So 0 you should take as usual. Here the first thing you should see the denominator 3 by 7. Here the denominator is 7. 7 means you should make 7 parts between 0 and 1. Okay, why? Because why I am telling do 7 parts means if you do 7 by 7 it will be 1. Right? 7 divided by 7 is 1. Means here at 1 you will get 7 by 7. 1 is nothing but I can write 7 by 7, right? 7 by 7 you got 1 only. So instead of 1 I can write 7 by 7 because my question is given with the denominator 7. So here I should make 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is your 7th part. Right? So here if you write like this, I am writing like example 1, 2, 3, 4 in a rough, 5. This is 6th part. This is 7th part. At 7th part only you'll get 1. Suppose I gave here denominator 8. So at 8th part here you'll get 1 more and at the 8th part you'll get 1. Okay. Now he mentioned 3 by 7. So 1, 2, 3. This is your 3 by 7. You should denote like this. This is your 3 by 7. Okay. Let me take one more example. Suppose I gave like 2 by 9. Suppose I gave like 2 by 9. Okay. 0. Okay. See the denominator first. There are 9 parts. So 2 9 parts. The 9th part will be 1. Right. 9 by 9 will be 1. See the denominator only. Don't be confused. Whatever denominator is there, that many parts should be there in the numerator also, so that you'll get 1 as a quotient. At 1 you'll get 9 by 9. If the denominator is suppose 11, at 11 by 11 you'll get 1. Okay. So Here I should make 8 parts because this is your ninth part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the ninth part is your 1. Right? So here I asked you 2 by 9. 2 by 9 means this is 1, this is 2. So this will be your 2 by 9. Okay, let us check with one more example and we'll go with the problem. Okay, let us take suppose 4 by like 11. Okay, 0. So he asked the denominator is 11, so do 11 by 11. Here write 11 by 11 as your 1. Okay, so you should write 10 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The 11th one will be your 1. Here he asked to find out 4 by 11. So fourth one 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is your 4 by 11. Same procedure for the negative side. Clear? Now let us go to our problem. Here I gave step by step procedure. Follow this method. Draw a number line. Okay. So first you should draw a number line. Next, divide each unit into 5 parts. Why I mentioned here 5 parts means here the denominator is 5. So you should make 5 parts. Okay. How the parts will be divided according to the denominator. Suppose there are 7 parts. Okay. So the next step you should do, from 0 you should take 8 parts. Here minus 8 parts on the left side. Okay, take 8 equal parts from 0 on the right side and mark 8 by 5. On left side also you should take minus 8 by 5. Clear? So first step is draw a number line. So we have drawn a number line. Now next, divide it into 5 equal parts. So 5 equal parts, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. See, 5 equal parts is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Means here it is 1. Here it is 2. Here it is 3. Okay. On the negative side also it will be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 like this. Okay. So I wrote 0, 1, 2, 3, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Here what is this 5 parts means? These things. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth part will be your 1. Right, as we have seen the before examples, your fifth part, whatever denominator is there, that part will be your 1. Okay, now the second step is also finished. Now count 8 equal parts from 0 on its right side. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So here will be your 8th part. So it is your 8 by 5. Clear? So this is your 8 by 5. Similarly, count 8 parts from the left side of 0 and denote minus 8 by 5. Okay. So this is your minus 8 by 5. Understood? So don't be confused for indicating a rational number on a number line. First, see the denominator and divide into that number of parts from 0 to 1, and from 0 to the right side you denote the positive one and the negative one from 0 left side. Okay, understood? So let us go to the next problem. So here is the next question. Express the following rational numbers as decimal numbers. So there are two types of rational numbers which we can make into decimal numbers. Simple. Suppose if they are, the denominator is 10, like 100 or 1000 in terms of 10 power, then you can directly change them. Okay, some rational numbers will be like this, 2 by 7, like this. For this you should divide and see. For this no need of division. Simple. See here, suppose I gave 16 by 1000. Example, I am taking 16 by 1000. Simple children, don't confuse. First write the numerator as it is. I am writing 16 as it is. Okay. Now next, count how many zeros are there in the denominator. 1, 2, 3. So here this is 1, here it is 2, and there are 3 zeros here, but we have only 2 digits here. Okay. So for one more 0 you should put 0, 0.0. So your answer will be 0.016. Means how many zeros are there in the denominator, that many digits should be there after decimal. After decimal you should have that many digits. Okay. So suppose I gave 314 by 1000. Means you can write 314 as it is. Then there are 3 zeros in the denominator. So here 1 digit, 2, 3. So 3 zeros are there and 3 digits also there. So I can put point and I can put 0. So 0.314. Okay. Suppose I gave 12 by 1000. Sorry, 12 by 10 suppose. I finished with 100,000. So 12 by 10 means write 12 as it is. There is 1 0 in the denominator. So I should put 1 digit before decimal. So it is 1.2. Okay. So whatever the denominator zeros are there, there you should put the decimal. Clear? Count and put the decimal from the left side, from here. Okay. After the decimal only you should count, not before the decimal. After the decimal digits you should count. Clear? So let us go to the first question. Here is your first question. A bit 242 by 1000. So here I should write 242 as it is, right? And I should count how many zeros are there here. 3 zeros. So 1, 2, 3. So point. So 0.242 is my answer. Okay. So next 500. So here I have 500. This procedure is applicable only for 1100, 10,000 like that only, not with 500 to 200 like that. Okay. So to make this 500, this is my easy procedure, right? 1000, 100, this is easy. So to make 500 as 1000, I should multiply by 2. So when I am multiplying 2 in the denominator, I should multiply in the numerator also, right? So I'll multiply 2 on both denominator and numerator to make this 500 as 1000, because I can put easily the decimal point. So 354 into 2 is 708 by 500 into 2 is 1000. Now I can write 708 as it is, and I can put decimal before 3 digits because 3 zeros are there. 1, 2, 3. So point 0.708. Okay. So here 5. So I can make this 5 as 10 by multiplying 2, right? So I'll multiply 2 in the denominator as well as in the numerator. So 4 by 10 I'll get. So I'll write 4 as it is. Here 1 0 is there. So 1 digit before I am putting the decimal. So it is 0.4. Clear, children? So let us go to the next problem. So here is the next problem. 115 by 4. Okay, so I should divide this and I'll check this. Okay, so when you divide, you'll get like this. So if I am getting the remainder as 0, then it is a terminating decimal. Children, please don't forget, when the remainder is 0, when a decimal expansion is giving the remainder 0, then it comes under terminating decimal, which is a rational number. Okay, so here you got the remainder 0, and we change this rational number. This is p by q form number. We change this p by q form number into a decimal expansion with remainder 0. Okay, so therefore 115 by 4 equal to 28.75. Clear? Then we'll go for the next problem. So here is your next question. 2 by 3. So before going to this, I'll tell you, we know that rational numbers are of two types. One is terminating and one is non-terminating repeating. The non-terminating, non-repeating is irrational number. Okay, so it is non-terminating, repeating and terminating. Okay, so terminating means you'll get remainder 0. So there will be no digits repeating after the decimal. It will end like this. Okay, no repetition, no continuation of the digits after decimal. Non-terminating repeating means your remainder will not be 0. Means if the remainder is not 0, your decimal expansion will go on like this. It will repeat. Okay, so it will repeat. Here the name itself is telling non-terminating means remainder not 0. Repeating means your decimal expansion will repeat with same digit. Suppose like this, 2.3, again 3, 3. If the same digit repeats, then it is non-terminating repeating. Non-terminating means it is not giving remainder 0. It is not 0 here. And repeating means the quotient, in the quotient you have the same digit repeating. That is non-terminating repeating. So for the clear explanation, you just follow the link given in the description. So here the question is 2 by 3. So when you divide this, you'll get 0.66, and it is repeating. Okay, because here I will get again 20. If I take again 6, 3, 6, 18, again 2 as a reminder, again 20. This 6 is repeating, right? If this 6 is repeating, I can write 0, 6, 6, so on. When the same digit is repeating, I can put this, for this digit I should put bar. Okay, this is your bar. Means if the same digit is repeating, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, it is repeating without giving the remainder 0, then I should give whatever the digit is repeating, for that digit I should give bar. Clear? So your next question will be like this, minus 25 by 36. So don't confuse when a numerator is given minus symbol. Simple, just do the division, and whatever answer you got, for that answer you put the minus symbol. Okay, so your division will be like this. Here also your remainder is not 0, it is 16. Again here also 16, 16. Again if you put 0, the same 4 will continue. Means the digit 4 is repeating. Whatever digit is repeating, for that only you should put bar. Okay, so here 4 is repeating, so I can put bar for 4 only. Clear? This bar is denoting that it is a non-terminating repeating decimal. Clear, children? So when I give a number, suppose like this, 2.72 bar, then by seeing here only you can tell whether it is a terminating, non-terminating, repeating, or non-terminating, non-repeating. How? Means it is given a bar, means there is continuity. If there is continuity, it is not terminating, it is non-terminating. Okay, one thing is confirmed, it is non-terminating. And here bar is given, means it is repeating, so I can give non-terminating repeating. Suppose I give like this, 2.726538, like this, 38, and so on. Then it is, if there is so on, then you should write it is non-terminating, and it is not repeating, no digit is repeating here, 8 is not repeating. If 8 is repeating, I should write 8, 8, 8, 8, like this. If it is like this, I can write non-terminating repeating. If I gave like this 7, in here suppose you got 3 8s and you got 7, 1 8 and 7, 6, like this, so on, then it is non-terminating. It is not repeating, so I should write non-repeating. Clear? So when there is bar, then the same digit is repeating, so it is non-terminating repeating decimal. Clear, children? So let us go for the next problem. So here is the next problem, 22 by 7. So 22 by 7, when you divide, you will get 3.14285, like that. Okay. So with the remainder 0, if you can continue, but here he asked only to find, change it into decimal form. So I did till here only. Then your answer will be 3.14285, so on. Our decimal form is finished. Clear? So your next question is 11 by 9. Divide it. Here you can observe here 2 is repeating. 2 is repeating, so I can put 2 bar. 2 bar. Here why I stop till here means it is enough till here. If you want, you can repeat, you can continue this and check whether it is continued or not. Okay, children? So let us go to the next problem. So your next question is, express each of the following decimals in p by q form where q is not equal to 0 and p, q are integers. So this p, q should be integers, whether it may be positive or negative number, but q is not equal to 0 means you should convert into a rational number. P by q form is nothing but a rational number. Okay, he will give the decimal number, you should change it into p by q form number. So before going to the problem, I'll tell one example. Suppose I gave some 0.5. Okay, so here decimal I can write in the p by q form, means I can write as 5 by 10. Why I put only 10 here? Because after decimal only one digit is there, means there should be 1 0 in the denominator. Suppose I took here 1, here I took 1, means here you should write 51. Here there are two digits after decimal, so I can write 100. After decimal, you should check one thing. After decimal, how many digits are there? That many zeros you should put in the denominator. Okay. Suppose I gave 0.765. Okay. Means you should write 765 by 1000. Because as there are 3 digits after decimal, you should put 3 zeros. Okay. Now how to convert into P by Q form? P by Q form means like this only, like a fraction. It should not be divided further. Means the denominator and numerator should be having only one as a common factor. Means they must be like co-primes. Okay. So here I can, last digit is 0 and last digit is 5. Here 5 and 0. So I can divide it by 5 table. Like that you proceed until there is 1 as a common factor for both numerator and denominator. They cannot be divided further. You can tell it as a standard form also. Standard form means the fraction which cannot be divided further, that is called as standard form. Okay, so let us go to the first question. 0.36, your next is 15.4, like this. Okay, here there are 2 digits after decimal, so I divided with 100. Okay, so last digit 0, 6, you can divide with 2, or else 36, it is divisible by 4, 100 also divisible by 4, so I took directly by 4. So 9 by 25, they cannot be divided further, right, because they are having 1 as a common factor here. So your answer is 9 by 25. Okay, do till the standard form, then you can write in the P by Q form. Next, here after decimal, one digit is there, so divide by 10 only. 1 digit by 10, 2 digits by 100. Okay, 3 digits means by 1000. Here last digit is 4 and 0 here, so I took divided by 2. It is 77 by 5. In 5 table 77 doesn't go, so I stopped till here and wrote 77 by 5. Here after decimal 2 digits, so divide by 100. Here last digit is 5 and it is 0, so divide by 5. Here for again it is 5 0, so again divide by 5. Here 41 by 4, as 41 is a prime number, it is not divisible with any number, so I stopped here and wrote my P by Q form as 41 by 4. Okay, here 3.25 as the decimal. After you have 2 digits, so I divide by 2 zeros 100. So as the last digit is 5 and 0, it is divisible by 5. Again here 5 and 0, so again divisible by 5. 13 by 4, 13 is a prime number, so I stopped till here 13 by 4. Understood? So whatever, how many digits are there after decimal, that many zeros you should take in the denominator. Clear, children? And divide till the standard form. Till you get the standard form, you divide and write the answer in the P by Q form. Clear? So let us go to the next problem. So here is your next question. Express each of the following decimal number in the P by Q form. Just now in the previous question also he asked the same thing only, decimal number into P by Q form. Then what is the difference here means, in the previous question he asked like this 0.36. Okay, means by seeing the decimal form we can say that it is a terminating decimal, because as there is no repetition means it is giving remainder 0, so it is terminating decimal, right? Means we can directly divide by 100 or 1000, anything. Suppose my question is like this 0.36 bar. Suppose I gave a question like this. When there is bar, I told that when there is bar, then this digit, whatever number is having bar, that digit is repeating. Means it is not giving remainder as 0. It is repeating, means it is non-terminating repeating. So non-terminating repeating. See here, suppose 0, I told just now 0.36 means here I know that after decimal 2 digits are there, so I divided by 100, 36 by 100. But here for 0.36 bar, I cannot say how many digits are there because the 6 is repeating. After decimal I cannot say how many digits are repeating. Then I cannot write this divided by. If there are 2 digits I can write 2 zeros. But if there is no digit is ending here, if we don't know whether how many digits are there here, then we cannot divide with how many zeros, right? So there will be one more procedure for that. Follow this method. Your question is 0.5 bar means you can write it as 0.5555, so on. 5 is repeating, so you can write as 5, so on. One thing you should remember, simple thing, here bar is for how many digits. The first thing you should know is bar is for how many digits. You should check for how many digits bar is there. Okay, here the bar is for 1 digit, means I should take 10. I should multiply this with the 10. Okay, so your first step will be like this. I'm taking whatever question he gave as 0x 0.5 bar 0.55555 like that. Okay, I'm writing this question as x. Now I told you to check bar is for how many digits, right? Bar is for 1 digit, so I'll multiply both sides with 10. 1 digit 10. For the bar is for 2 digits like this, 36, 0.36. If the bar is for 2 digits, then you should multiply with 100, because two digits are having bar, so 2 zeros should be there. Clear? This thing is very very important. In the simple way I told, multiply both sides by 10. Okay, so you'll get x when you multiply by 10, 10x, and this one when you multiply, simple. Children, here see, here when we multiply by 10, this 10 means 1 0, so this 5 will go in front to the before the decimal. Suppose I have like this 0.555, so on, into, suppose I have 100. Okay, means simple. Here there are 2 zeros, so you shift 2 digits before decimal. So I'll get 55.5. Forget about the 0. Okay, this 5 will go for 1 0, and one more 5 will go for one more 0. Suppose I have like this 2.37777, so on. Okay, I am multiplying this, so on is there. I am multiplying this with 100. Okay, now here 2 is there, so you should write 2 as it is. If it is 0, no need to write. It is 2 means write this 2 as it is. Here for 1 0, 3 will go. Okay, so one more 0, 7 will go. Okay, after that you should put decimal, because there are no zeros here, so no more digits will go before the decimal. So again the after digits are 7 7 7, so on. Okay, understood? This procedure you should follow here. So here by 10 means 1 0 is, I'm multiplying with 1 0 here, so 1 5 will go in front of the decimal. Now you subtract this 10x from the x, so 10x minus x is 9x, and here always subtraction should be done in this way. Okay, not in this way. Addition or subtraction will be done in this way. Okay, so 5 minus 5 is 0, here also 0, here also 0, here will be 5. Okay, so your next step will be like this, 9x equal to 5. Okay, now simple, x is equal to, send this 9 to the denominator, 5 by 9. After decimal, if you have any zeros, no need to take that zeros. Okay, so your x will be 5 by 9. He asked you to change in the p by q form, we got the p by q form. So therefore it is in the p by q form, 5 by 9. We cannot cancel this because it is a standard form. Clear? So simple procedure for if the bar is for 2 digits, you should multiply by 100. If the bar is for 3 digits, you should multiply with 1000. Okay, and subtract this x, whatever he gave in the question, with the 10x or 100x, 1000x, whatever it is. Okay, let us go to the next problem. 3.8 bar. Okay, so here also the bar is for 1 digit, so I can multiply with 10. Right, 3.8 bar equal to 3.88888, so on. 1 digit for bar is for 1 digit, so I'll take multiply by 10. So multiply by 10 means only 1 0 here, so only 1 digit will go front, so 8 will go front, so your 10x will be 38.8888, so on. Okay, so 10x equal to 38 point. This before decimal digit will be like that only. This only thing which changes is, depending on this number of zeros, your after digit number goes before decimal. Okay, so 1 0, so 1 8 went front of the decimal. Clear? So subtract x from 10x, you will get 9x equal to 35. After decimal there are zeros only, so no need to take. So x will be 35 by 9. It is standard form because it is not divisible further. So I can write the p by q form as 35 by 9. Okay, so remember one thing, if there is no bar, you can divide by 100, 1000, whatever it is, by depending on the number of digits after the decimal. But if there is bar, you should remember this procedure by multiplying 100 with 10 or 1000, whatever it is, and subtract the x from 10x, 100x, whatever, and convert into p by q form. Understood? So let us go to the next problem. So here is your next question, 0.36 bar. Okay, so if you observe carefully, the bar is for 2 digits. Means if the bar is for 2 digits, you should multiply with 100 both sides. Simple. So 0.36 bar means you should repeat 3636. If it is only for 6, you should repeat 6 only. If it is for 36, you should repeat 3636. Here it is, you are multiplying with 100 means for 1 0 3 will go. Okay, 3. If it is 0, no need to take, I told. Next for one more 0, 6 will go. So 36.363636. Clear? So your next step will be like this. I took this question as x. Now as the bar is for 2 digits, you should multiply by 100. So for 2 zeros, 2 digits will go front of the decimal. Okay, our next step will be subtract this x from this 100x, right? So your 99x will be like this, 36.000. So after decimal, if there are zeros, there is no use to take. So it is divided further because it will go in 3 table, right? Or it will go in 9 table also. First you can divide by 3 table, or you can directly go with the 9 table. 9 11s, 9 4s. It cannot be further divided because it is a standard form. So your answer is 0.36 bar equal to 4 by 11. In a similar way, you can go with the next problem. Here I gave after decimal 3 digits, but you should see only bar is for how many digits. You should not see after decimal how many digits are there. You should see only bar is for how many digits. Here bar is for only 1 digit, so I should multiply by 10. Okay, so multiply by 10. So 10 means only 1 0, so only 1 digit will go front of the decimal. So 31.2777, so on. Now subtract x from 10x. So you'll get the 9x as like this. So 9x equal to, here if you observe carefully, 0.1500. So no need to take these zeros, but you should take this 15 also. So as there is 15 here after point 2 digits are there, so I'll divide with 100. If there is 3 digits in the after point, then I should divide with 1000. Means multiplying with the denominator. Dividing with the numerator is nothing but multiplying with the denominator, right? So 900, cancel it in the 5 table, you'll get 563 by 180. Okay, this is your p by q form. Understood? So let us go to the next problem. Here is the next question. Without actually dividing, means you should not use here division method. Find which of the following are terminating decimals. Terminating decimals means there should be no continuation of the digits after decimal, like this 1.5. There should not be any digits after decimal, means it should stop at certain point, means it should give remainder 0. But we discussed that it should give remainder 0. How will get this remainder? By division only. But he mentioned here not using division method. We should not use here division method. We should not divide it. So how we can say without division whether it is a terminating or non-terminating? There is one formula, very easy formula. You should see the denominator. Okay, remember this. See the denominator, take the denominator and do the prime factoration for the denominator. Okay, suppose I gave like a question like this, 4 by 50. I gave my question as 4 by 50. So my denominator is 50. Okay, do the prime factoration for that 50. 50, last digit is 0, so I can take 2. 2 25s. Again the last digit is 5, so I can take 5. 5 5s. Okay, 5 is a prime number, so it goes only in 5 table. So 5 ones. So I got 2 into, if I write this 50 as a product of prime factors, 2 into 5 square. Okay, means if the denominator is in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, then it is a terminating decimal. This m and n are, you can put any number. Here I got 2 5s, so I wrote 2, means this n is 2, m is 1. Okay, so if it is in the form of, the denominator is in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, then it is a terminating decimal. If you got, suppose I am taking like this, one more question, 4 by 36. Okay, let me take 4 by 36. Take the denominator 36 and do the prime factoration of 36. Last digit is 6, so it will be divisible by 2. So 2 18s 36. Okay, next 2 9s 18. Next 3 3s 9. Okay, and 3 1s 3. Okay, now I can write this as 4 by 2 square into 3 square. This 36 I can write as 2 square into 3 square. But I told the denominator should be in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n. Here you can write n, here you can write m also. It is your wish. Okay, you can change the powers. This n you can write here, this m you can write here. But it should be in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n only. Apart from these two numbers, there should not be another number. Okay, but here we got 3. So it is not terminating decimal. You can ask me one question, that why only 2 5? Why not the other digits? Because decimal means only the denominator should be 10. Okay, terminating means it should stop at one point. If it is stopping at one point, means in the previous question we have seen, your question is 0.36, means it is stopping at this point. This is terminating. How we divided this 36 by 100, right? 100 means the denominator should be in zeros. When the denominator will be in zeros, when it is having the product of prime factors as 2 into 5 only. 100 you will get only when 2 power m into 5 power n only. Means 2 square into 5 square. 4 25 100. Suppose I am taking 1000. 2 cube into 3 cube. Right? Suppose I am taking only 10. 10 means 2 into 5. Okay. So here the decimal form terminating means the denominator should be in terms of 10 power. Okay. I'll tell you clearly. Terminating means your denominator should be in the 10 power form. Okay. When it will be in 10 power form? When it is in 2 power m into 5 power n method. Okay. Apart from these two, there should not be any number. If any number is there, suppose I got here in the previous problem, I got, when I took the example, I got 4 by 2 square into 33 square, right? 2 square into 3 square. When you got another number, then you should check with the numerator. 4 by 2 square into 9. 3 square means 9. But 4, this will not go in this table, right? So it will not be cancelled. When it is not cancelled, means this will stay as it is. So it is non-terminating decimal. Clear? So one thing you should remember, the denominator should be in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n. Okay, these two should be there, or only 2 power some. Suppose I got only 2 power 7. When I did denominator prime factoration, I got 2 power 7. Then it is also a terminating one, because 5 power is not there in my prime factoration. Suppose, see here I am taking one example, 3 by 32. This is very important problem. So 3 by 32. When I do 32 prime factoration, I'll get 2 power 5. 2 power 5 is your 32, right? So there is no another prime factor, right? So when there is no another prime factor, so I can write 2 power 5 and I can write into 5 power 0. Why 5 power 0? What is the number which is having power as 0? It is 1 only. Any number you take, even you take 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, whatever it is, if 0 is there, if power is 0 for any number, its value is 1 only. So when you multiply 1 to any number, you will get the same number. So now I can write this 2 power 5 as 2 power 5 into 5 power 0, means it is nothing but 2 power m into 5 power n. So it is in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n. Okay, suppose you got 5 power 3, only 5 power 3. Suppose I gave the denominator as 125. Okay, you got 5 power 3. Now I can write into 2 power 0. This is 1 only. So that means your denominator should be in the form of 2 power m into 5 power n, or it should be only 2 power m, or it should be only 5 power n. Other than these 2, 5, no other number should come. Only these two are friends. These two should be there. Only this should be there, or only this should be there. No other friend should come into their party. Clear? So let us go to the first question. 3 by 25. When you do the prime factoration of 25, it will be 5 square. Right? So 5 square. I told here only 5 should be there. 5 can be there, right? Because for 2 we can write 2 power 0. So if the denominator is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, you can write here m, you can write here n also. Okay, then it is a terminating decimal. Our denominator is 5 power 2. 5 power 2 means I can write 5 power 2 into 2 power 0. Okay, no other number should be there, only 5, 2, or either 5, either 2. So it is a terminating decimal. Next question, 11 by 18. First you should do the prime factoration of 18. Okay, so prime factoration of 18 is 2 into 3 square. Here another friend came, 3 square 9. So you should check with the numerator 11, but 9 will not, 11 is not divisible by 9. So this 3 square will stay as it is. So it is not a terminating decimal because it is not in the form of this one. If only 2 is there, then it is okay, we can put 5 power 0, but here 3 square is there, we cannot put. So it is a non-terminating decimal. Clear? So let us go to the next problem. So here is the next question, 13 by 20. So do the prime factoration of 20. Here whenever the number is ending with 0, then it is simple shortcut. If a number is ending with 0, then it is in the form of 10 power. I can write it as 2 into 10. Right? Means it is a terminating decimal only. Clear? So directly you can say it. So to the prime factoration, you got 2 square into 5. If a number is ending with 0, then it is directly a terminating. Okay, 2 square into 5 means it is n, it is m. So it is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m. So it is a terminating decimal. Next question, 41 by 42. Do the prime factoration of 42. Here it is 2 into 3 into 7. Other number should be there, should not be there, means here you got two numbers, 3 into 7. Check whether 41 is divisible by 3. No, it is not divisible. 7, no, it is not divisible. So here there are two more prime factors 3 and 7, but in our formula it should be only in this form. So it is not satisfied. So it is a non-terminating decimal. Understood, children? So here it is completely of your exercise 1. So just follow one process, just remember one thing, 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2 means into 10 by 10 method. Okay, and one more method is mean method. Okay, the new things into 10 by 10 method, denominator same method, mean method. Okay, decimal to p by q form, if it is a terminating decimal means it is 0.36 without any continuation, then you should see how many digits are there in after decimal and divide with that many zeros. If it is 2 zeros, 2 digits by 100. Okay, and cancel it with some number, whatever it is divisible, and write it in the p by q form. Okay, when you are having bar, you should check whether how many digits are having bar. Here only for one digit means you should multiply by 10. Take this question as x and multiply with 10 on both sides and subtract this x from the 10x or 100x, whatever it is, and convert it into p by q form. Okay, and this is one more method. By seeing the without division, how you will confirm it is a terminating means if the denominator, you should take the denominator, if it is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, then it is a terminating decimal. So these are the new methods. Don't confuse, follow these procedures whatever I told, it will be very easy. Understood? So if you understand this video, please share my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.